हजुर लौन हजुर आयो निर्वाचन,
हाम्रो गाउँ नगरमा आयो निर्वाचन।
स्थानीय तह नै हो विकास गर्ने ठाउँ,
योग्य मान्छे चुनी पठाऊ शहर होस् या गाउँ।
तपाईँ हाम्रा साना तिना सबै काम हुने,
5 वर्ष ढुक्क हुन्छ राम्रो मान्छे चुने।
तराई मधेस हिमाल पहाड यही गीत गाऊ, वैशाख महिना 30 गते भोट हाल्न जाऊ। लौन हजुर आयो निर्वाचन, हाम्रो गाउँ नगरमा आयो निर्वाचन, हाम्रो गाउँ नगरमा आयो निर्वाचन।
Namaskar and welcome to Institute for Excellence Center. It's an education-based institute where we try to bring up people who want to pass the Public Service Commission exam. Yes, and this is the English part where I'll tell you a few things about voice today. So, we know we talk about active voices, passive voices, and we know active voice is the voice that is used on a regular basis. So when we have to change this active voice into passive voice, we need to think that the verb always comes in the past participle form, and we cannot just write the past participle form of verbs without a helping verb. So we'll need helping verb. It could be has sometimes, it could be is sometimes. And how is it to be used? In what tense do we use the helping verbs? Is the question here, and so we will go with the tenses, how it comes, how the voice is to be changed according to the tenses. It will be easier for us to understand the transition of active voice to passive voice if we do it on a basis of tense. So before we start, I think I need to tell you that there are transitive and intransitive verbs. Transitive verb is one that is used with an object, whereas an intransitive verb does not use any object. So when an object is not used, we cannot change that to passive voice. In order to change a sentence in the active voice to passive voice, we always need to have an object. So whenever a sentence uses intransitive verb, it cannot be changed into passive, because a sentence using intransitive verb will make sense without an object too. So please understand, we need an object in order to change a sentence in the active voice to passive. So we'll go changing the voice according to the tense. I'll be giving very simple examples, and it will be easier for you to understand. We'll go according to the tense. Okay? So once again, I repeat, active voice needs to have an object so that we can change that to the passive voice. And whenever we change something to the passive voice, we need to have a helping verb along with the verb which changes into the past participle tense. So let me tell a sentence just like that without a helping verb. I eaten rice. Does that make sense? It doesn't. So a helping verb is needed to support the main verb, which goes to the past participle form. So let's start with a sentence in the simple present tense. Of course, we'll go to more complicated sentences, but let's go for very simple sentences right now. So let's say a sentence, I eat rice. That's a sentence in the simple present tense. That's an active sentence. So when we change this into passive, I eat rice. Rice is the object here. The rice goes to the front and becomes the subject. Now the action, that is the verb, has been done for the rice. So when rice comes to the front as the subject, it has to be supported by the verb. It's the verb that's talking about something that happened to the object. So rice comes to the front, and then as it is the present tense, simple present tense, we'll use the helping verb is. Rice is eaten, and you can write by me, or it's not very necessary. If you don't want to write also, it's fine. Rice is eaten. I eat rice. Rice is eaten. So is and eaten shows that this particular sentence in the passive voice is simple present tense. It's a sentence in the simple present tense. Rice is eaten. So now we go to another tense, and that is the present continuous tense. We'll use the same sentence again. I am eating rice. I am eating rice. Now I am eating rice has to be changed to the passive. Now in the first instance, what we did as we wrote is eaten to imply that it's in the simple present tense. Now what are we going to do when we are changing a sentence in the present continuous tense to passive, an active sentence in the present continuous tense to passive? So again we'll bring rice to the front as a subject, and of course we'll use is there as the helping verb. And now I had told previously, is and ing is necessary for continuous tense. So we have rice is. Do you think eating is right? No, it is not. We'll need something there, because I have already told you that whatever it is, the passive voices always uses verb in its third form. So we cannot write rice is eaten by me again. It becomes simple present tense, and ing is necessary in present continuous tense. So what we'll do is we'll bring the word be there. Rice is, we'll add another, of course is also a form of be. So we will write rice is be, and we'll add ing there to understand that it is in the present continuous tense. Ing means continuous, and is needed in continuous, so is being, that is continuous, that implies it's continuous tense. So rice is being, and as I told you earlier, the main verb always is in the past participle tense. Rice is being eaten by me, or by me can be put in bracket, it's not necessary. Okay, so please get that into your head. The sentence which is changed to the passive has to retain its own tense. So for the simple present tense, we used is and put the main verb in the third form, that is the past participle form, whereas in this continuous tense we used is also, and then we brought be there and added ing to make it continuous. Is also there, ing is also there, and then in order to respect the need for us to keep the main verb in the past participle tense, we used eaten as it should be. So it is always eaten, or the third form in the passive voice. So rice is being eaten implies that this sentence is in the present continuous tense. Now after that we'll go to present perfect tense. We'll change the same sentence into present perfect tense. I have eaten rice. I have eaten rice. That is the present perfect tense. So again rice comes as the subject there. Rice. Now perfect tense always uses has or have and uses the verb in its third form, past participle form. So what we will do is we will always use is with the voice. So rice has been, is already there by me, or not necessarily by me. Rice has been eaten. So I have told you before that we always need the helping verb to support the main verb in the passive voice. So what we have done is, in the first instance we have used rice is eaten, be is always there in the form of is here. Now in the second instance, in the present continuous tense, rice is being eaten, rice is being, be has come, one as a helping verb and other as a compulsory verb. Let's take this as a compulsory verb to support the verb, main verb, which is in the third form. So rice is being eaten, and in the third tense, that is the present perfect tense, has been eaten, be is still there, has been eaten by me. So, and you might be thinking, now comes present perfect continuous tense. Of course we can I have been eating rice can be changed to rice has been eaten by me, but that's too complicated and we see these structures are not used these days. So we are not going to learn anything that is not used. We'll talk about things that is in trend today. So we will not talk about the voice change of the perfect continuous tense. Now we'll go to the past. I killed a snake, as you know, is a sentence in the simple past tense. Now in the previous tense, present tense, this would have been I kill a snake. That's an everyday occurrence. So a snake is killed by me. We'd have written this. But here, when the sentence is in the simple past tense, we have to make sure that the same tense is used in the passive voice too. So, I killed a snake will become a snake was killed by me. I kill a snake would have become a snake is killed by me, but here as we have this sentence in the past tense, this was implies that this sentence in the passive voice is simple past tense. Now after this comes past continuous tense, and for this past continuous tense we know the structure, right? I was killing, let's say, the snake here. Before we said I killed a snake, and then now we are talking about the snake. Of course, I'll let you know what a and the mean. They are different. How they are used, why they are used. I'll let you know about that also in the videos to come. But right now, we will talk about the structure that's used here. I was killing the snake. Here, that the sentence is I was killing the snake. So here we cannot use a snake was being killed by me. We have to use the snake. The snake becomes the snake only. We cannot change it to a. So it has to be as it was. So here again, in order to make us know that this sentence is in the past continuous tense, what we'll do is, in the previous instance, what we had done is present continuous. We had done, let's keep this sentence in the present continuous tense. It will be, I am killing the snake. And it would have changed to, the snake is being killed by me. But here, we are saying, I was killing the snake. So we have to change that into the past only. So what we'll do is, we'll write, the snake was being killed by me. The snake was implies that it is in the past. Being implies it's the continuous. And killed is the third form of kill again. The second form is also the second form is also killed, and the third form is also killed. So the snake was being killed by me. Okay. Now we'll go to the past perfect tense. I had killed a snake. Now again we are talking about a snake. So it comes again, the object is a snake now. Before it was the snake. Don't ever forget. It has to be exactly what it is. We cannot change it. We are just changing the voice. We are not changing anything. Nothing else. Just the voice. So we are not changing the tense. We are not changing the object. We are not changing anything. We are just changing the voice. So what we do is, I had killed a snake. I have killed a snake would have been, a snake has been killed by me. Yes, this is something that you have to remember. I had killed a snake becomes a snake had been killed by me. We'll go back to the present. If it had been, I had killed a snake, the passive would be, a snake has been killed by me. But if it had been, I had killed snakes, then it would have been, snakes have been. Snakes have, because snakes is the third person plural noun, whereas a snake is singular. third person singular. We have done this in the tenses in the previous class. So please don't get confused here. A snake has, snakes have. That comes only in the present tense word. So you need not worry when we are going to the past tense. A snake had been killed by me. And that's it. Now we'll move on to the future tense. Rasna will drive a car. Now, as I told you earlier, in the simple future tense, in all the future tenses we need will or shall. So this is the simple future tense. We do nothing, we'll just add will and verb in its original form. Rasna will drive a car. A car. Now here, as I've told earlier, the passive form always has is and verb in its third form. Be and verb in its third form. A car will be driven by Rasna. A car will be driven by Rasna. In the same way, if we use the future continuous tense, Rasna will be driving a car. Now, a car again will have been being driven by Rasna. Will have been being driven by Rasna. In the same way, we go to Rasna will have driven the car. The car here again. The car will have been driven by Rasna. So we use is everywhere whenever we are changing a sentence to the passive. Passive voice means be and verb in its third form, past participle form. So the car will have been driven by Rasna should be the passive of Rasna will have driven the car. We haven't changed the tense, we haven't changed the object, we haven't changed the subject. And that's how we change according to the tenses. Now let's go to some negative sentences. She does not like oranges. Now, she does not like oranges. Now we have to change that into passive. So oranges, and as I told you earlier, be is always there, and the other forms of be are is, are, or am. So for oranges, we are not going to use is. If it had been she does not like an orange, then we'd have written an orange is not liked by her. But we have oranges as the object. When it comes as the subject, we have to remember that only the third person singular noun uses is, others use are. So oranges are not liked by her. If it had been she does not like me, then it would be I am not liked by her. For I it is am, for others it is are, and for third person singular noun it is. So oranges are not liked by her. Now let's go to the next one. Nobody has cleaned the car. The sentence, sometimes we might be confused. Oh, how can this sentence be negative? But we are saying nobody, which is negative in itself. So nobody has cleaned the car means the car has not been cleaned. The car has not been cleaned. Nobody has cleaned, that means it has not been cleaned. So the next one is the man is not playing football. Football is not being played by him. Football is not being played by him. Now we'll go to yet another sentence in the past. Susan didn't punch Meera. Meera was not punched by Susan. If it had been Susan didn't punch the girls, then we would have written the girls were not punched by Susan. But there is just a singular noun, third person singular noun, so we'll go for Meera was not punched by Susan. So in the negative sentences also you might have noticed our use of the tense. The first instance was she does not like oranges, which is in the simple present tense. Oranges are not liked by her. Nobody has cleaned the car, that is in the present perfect tense, and we have not changed the tense in this passive voice also. The car hasn't been cleaned. The third instance was the man is not playing football, and still we have it in the present continuous tense. Football is not being played by him. And the last instance was in the simple past tense. Susan didn't punch Meera. Meera was not punched by Susan. She won't slap him. He will not be slapped. So the tense does not change at all. If we change the tense, then our sentences are all wrong. So let's make sure that our sentences have the same tense, be it in the active voice or the passive voice. The tense has to remain the same. Now let's go for a few sentences which are questions. Okay? Does she play the cello? Now it becomes, is the cello played by her? Look at the tense. Is the cello played by her? I'm sure you know how to change a simple sentence into negative or interrogative. I'm sure you do that, right? Okay, she plays the cello, Savani. Yeah. If you have she plays the cello, then the question will be, does she play the cello? So here when we change that into passive, it becomes, is the cello played by her? We'll come with more sentences in which we can change voices, and that will be passive to active as well. But for now I should say bye, because I'm sure you'd like to go out, have some fun, so chill for some time and then come again and study. So all the best for your examination, whichever examination it is. It could be public service commission examination or any other examination. I'm sure with these hints you will be able to do better than what you have been doing till now. So keep watching us. Yes, it's the Institute for Excellence Center, which is based on education and especially focused on promoting students, promoting people who want to pass the Public Service Commission exams, but this works for everyone else. Okay, bye-bye, namaste.
स्मार्टफोन र स्मार्ट जमाना खल्ती हो पैसाको नयाँ ठेगाना डाइनिङमा बसेर आधा रात उठेर पार्टीमा रमेर शपिङ मल घुमेर टिभीको पेमेन्ट डन इन्टरनेट रिचार्ज डन प्लेनको टिकट डन फिल्मको टिकट डन पैसा नभए नि हातैमा खल्तीबाटै पेमेन्ट डन स्मार्टफोन र स्मार्ट जमाना खल्ती हो पैसाको नयाँ ठेगाना